All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you're listening to Skytown, everything Chicago Sky-related podcast. This is Mike Hughes. It is currently June 22nd, 2022. We had an amazing WNBA history-making performance last night by the Chicago Sky. Obviously, like I said, I had a crazy weekend. My sister had a kid. There were a lot of holiday things going on, NBA free agency. We just got announced the ASAP Network will be being represented at the Big Three League this weekend by myself and the ASAP Network. It's going to be dope. Ice Cube's Big Three League with former NBA players and a bunch of other stars. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great time. I'm so sorry. The last episode was so bogus. It was so cheap. I didn't want it to be that way, but I wanted to get something out for you guys. I wanted it to be consistent. I want to be able to get these episodes out as consistently as I can. So I know last episode we didn't really go in depth on everything that we should. Obviously, there was so much more I could have talked about. I just didn't have the time to talk about it. But today, we're going to be talking about WNBA history. The Chicago Sky come back from the biggest upset. They, in the first quarter, were down 18-41 against Becky Hammon and the Las Vegas Aces, which undoubtedly, hands down, one of the best teams I've seen in a very long time. Forgive me. Here's that water bottle I was just looking at in the background. But 18-41. And the Chicago Sky climb back and win this game. What an amazing game by the Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky win 104-95 against the Las Vegas Aces. It just feels amazing to say. They put up 51 points in the first half to the Las Vegas Aces. 62, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely one of those games going into the third quarter. You knew you were going to find out who had it and who didn't and who was ready to fight. The Chicago Sky put up 30 points in the third quarter, and the Las Vegas Aces only put up 11, 23 in the fourth for the Sky and 22 for the Las Vegas Aces. So obviously that third quarter was very huge for the momentum of the game. But the Chicago Sky, they just continued to fight back. Candace Parker back from that knee injury. Like I said in the last episode, we didn't really get too deep into it, but I wasn't very concerned. It's more of a rest kind of thing. Obviously, it was bothering her to some level, but it's nothing to trip out about. You know what I mean? Like, God forbid something horrible were to happen, but that definitely wasn't the case. Let's go over the stats in this game because, baby, we got some killers in this game. It was outstanding. Candace Parker had 17, 4, and 10 for the double-double in 28 minutes. Kalia Copper had 9, 3, and 2 in 29 minutes. Emma Mieseman had 17, 6, and 6 in 29. An outstanding defense from Emma this game versus the last game in Chicago against the Las Vegas Aces. Allie Quigley, which we have an interview with her later on today in this episode, she had 13, 7, and 2 in 35. Schlutt had 25, 8, and 3 in 30. Schlutt has been on a tear, and seeing Allie Quigley kind of get out of that slump that she's been in was even more amazing to see from her. And she was just so calm about it in post game. I didn't get a chance to talk with Azrae Stevens or Coach Wade just because I had some other stuff I had to take care of and attend to. But I really do want to pick their brain about it when we get back as well, especially Coach Wade, because he even said at the beginning of the season when we played against them, a few weeks ago, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when everyone was saying you just lost to the best team in the league. They're going to win the championship. They're going to do it all. Yeah, cool. Keep that same energy. He said, by the end of the season, we'll see. And already, just a few weeks later, just got bodied by him. So what's up? Like, that's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm taking it, because so many people were like, oh, yeah, the Aces have the Sky's number. They have everybody's number. That's game. That's it. No, that's not the case at all. It is the regular season, ladies and gentlemen. Never too high, never too low. That is the best way to go about it. It really is, because what is it? The other day we lose to the 5-13 or the 4-13 at the time before they beat us. The 4-13 Indiana Fever smoked us. And then we go up to the 13-3 Las Vegas Aces. And at the time they were 13-2. And we body them. Like, that's something to me where you have to look at the regular season and you have to take it for a grain of salt. because you can't sit here and you can't tell me that, this is going to speak volumes to the rest of the season. It truly isn't. But to get back into everything, Azurá Stevens, what a game. 19, 0, and 7 and 22 off bench. Rebecca Gardner had 4, 0, and 0 and 16, and Julie had 0, 6, and 3 and 10. Dana Evans did not play in this game. I haven't seen anything about her being injured. I'm definitely going to keep trying to read into that and ask questions while I'm at the game. But, it's definitely something to where it's starting to become noticeable that I don't know what's wrong with Dana right now. I'm very confused on the situation with Dana Evans. Maybe I'm missing something. But I have been gone. I have been doing stuff with the ASAP network and for other stuff in my personal life that I've been attending to. So we're going to get into that as soon as we can. Hopefully at Wintrust Arena, we'll find out more about Coach Wade. But from the Las Vegas Aces and Becky Hammon side of things, Wilson had 16, 1, and 11 for the double-double in 32 minutes. Young had 23, 6, and 5 and 37. Hamby had 15, 2, and 7 and 30. Kelsey Plum, love Kelsey Plum, had 22, 7, and 0 and 36. Gray had 4, 7, and 3 and 33. Shepard had 5, 0, and 1 and 12. I'm going to try my hardest not to butcher. Teresa. Teresa had 10, 0, and 7 and 13, and Stokes had 0, 0, and 1 and 8. Overall, the Sky just played a great game. They played great fundamental basketball. Again, we have this interview with Allie Quigley just kind of talking about, even in the last game when the Sky were down 20 to the Las Vegas Aces, they climbed back in the third and fourth quarter, and they managed to only lose by 4. I feel like that speaks volumes to what this team is. They're always behind in the beginning of the game, but they fight back and they push down the stretch. And that's one of the biggest things for me with this team. I just want to see them start games off a little hotter. I feel like it's always that first quarter they're trying to get a feel for what's going on in the game. And then in the second and third quarter, they just take off and they do something special and they go on those runs. That's something I want to see a lot more of. A fourth quarter team, we are one of the best fourth quarter teams in the league. That is hands down. I think undoubtedly we're the best fourth quarter team in the league. But here's my interview with Allie Quigley, kind of discussing that, kind of having that conversation about not being able to start off super strong, but always being able to climb back. Here's me and Allie Quigley. Allie Quigley and I. So sorry for the grammar people out there.
Mike?
Thanks so much.
Mike Hughes?
Hey, Allie, obviously this isn't the first time against the Aces this season that you've been down a large deficit early on. Can you kind of talk about the message in the locker room and the message between you guys going into the second half of the game, knowing you're going up against such a tough defense like this?
Yeah, I think the momentum shifted. We had 50 points at halftime, so we weren't talking too much about offense. It was just about our defensive scheme. I think we switched a couple things on defense and felt really confident about that. So we had the momentum going into halftime, so we were just really confident, all talking and, staying connected about what we wanted to do in the second half. So it was a good halftime.
That right there. She's cool. She's calm. She's collected. She's the Quig. That's what she is. She undoubtedly is one of the chillest people on this team. Allie understands when she's in a slump or not. And obviously there were some interview questions. If you haven't watched the Chicago Sky's press conference from yesterday's game with Allie Quigley, please do so. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to James Wade or Azuré's yet, but I'm definitely intending on doing that after this video. But it's something to where Allie understands she was in a shooting slump, and Sloot was holding it down during that shooting slump. Ka was holding it down. Emma was holding it down while Candace was out, and while Allie was struggling, quote unquote struggling, still producing pretty solid numbers. But Allie's finally starting to get that rhythm back. Obviously, she had that nagging injury in the beginning of the season as well. That was bothering her. So, you don't know what part of that it is, if she's just tired. All-Star breaks right around the corner, so that's a beautiful thing. The Chicago Sky currently sitting at 11-5. It's just beautiful. It is beautiful. I couldn't be happier with the Chicago Sky right now in the direction they're going. But again, never too high, never too low. One night we lose to the Indiana Fever. One night we win against the Las Vegas Aces and make WNBA history for one of the biggest comebacks in the entire history of the league. So, it's definitely that conversation that you just need to be able to understand. You want consistency. It was a good first half of the season, exiting out the first half. July 10th will be the All-Star game. Hopefully we will be there representing the All Sports, All Plays Network. Definitely hyped about that. Definitely I will fanboy out about Brianna Stewart or Sue Bird or anybody else who's there. 100% is going to fanboy out. But, with that being said, it's just a great game. It was just a great game. I'm super happy about it. Couldn't be more proud of these women. They're really doing their thing. And I couldn't be more proud of James Wade. Way to keep that fucking, and I don't mean to always swear. I try not to on here, but way to keep that fucking energy. I mean, he said it right off the bat. I want to hear you guys say the same thing towards the end of the season, that they're better than us, that they're the best team in the league, that they're going to win a championship. And he's holding them to it. I mean, you beat them one day, they beat you one day, you beat them the next. I mean, he's sticking towards that energy. He's being himself. And that's what I love most about James Wade is he is a hooper's hooper. That is who James Wade is. James Wade is the guy at the rec league who's talking that trash, but he can put up the numbers and show you what's up too. Like James Wade is that guy. I feel like he just goes so disrespected and so undervalued in this league, or in the league in general, or in the game of basketball, really. I mean, James Wade, not to just continue to toot his own horn, but him and Becky Hammon, I mean, they'll put the fear of God in you. They really will, but they're the nicest people at the same time. Like on the court, it's very different. But when you're just talking to them off camera and just one-on-one, they're amazing individuals and amazing people. And that's exactly the kind of coach you want to have, a player's coach who's also going to hold you accountable for what you need to be able to do and what you need to be doing. I love every single minute of that. I feel like that's huge and a big part of his game, evaluating these tough-minded women. You have Rebecca Gardner coming from overseas. You obviously have Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, Candace Parker, Emma Mieseman. You got some dogs, and the Philly Queen herself, and Kalia Copper. Ka's about that life, and that's just the reality situation. Someone who's met Ka's got more drip, Ka's got more swag, Ka's got more hops than anybody I've ever seen. So to see her be able to do her thing is just amazing, and it truly is exciting just to continue to see them flourish. But with that being said, an amazing game. I can't wait to get back at the Wintrust Arena. Let's see the next time we are going to be at Wintrust. I'm checking it right now, so please pardon me. They play the Los Angeles Sparks. They play them tomorrow. And then we're going to be at the Minnesota Lynx game Sunday at 5 p.m. Hopefully we'll be there. We also got some Big 3 stuff going on this weekend, so we're definitely going to try to make both. It's going to be a very busy weekend at the All Sports, All Plays Network and in Chicago. So definitely stay tuned for that. This has been Mike Hughes from the All Sports, All Plays Network. Definitely give them a shout out on all streaming platforms, on all social media platforms. You can follow me on anywhere down here below. Take a screenshot, pause this video, whatever you got to do. Follow the Chicago Sky. Follow them on every piece of social media. You can get news up to date on the score. You can find everything you need. With that being said, thank you guys for listening. This is Mike Hughes from Mike on the Mic podcast, the All Sports, All Plays Network, and Skytown, baby. We're out. Las Vegas Aces. Keep your head running.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.